Scott Harden, HA4VD, and we're going to talk about how to set up a simple radio station here at the University of Florida Gator Amateur Radio Club. First thing you do when you come in is you'll sign in on the sheet. If you're going to do any operating, make sure that your name and date is here so that we know when you're operating. Today we're going to be operating this HF station, and the first thing we're going to do is connect the antenna. Every radio on this side of the room has a label on this antenna box, on the switching cable box. That radio is the ICOM 730, or the IC 730, and we're going to use the Mosley Pro HF Yagi. That's the big antenna on top of the roof. So we will connect a cable between these two. Now it's important when you do this to make sure that there aren't any lightning storms or any severe weather around. If lightning strikes, you don't want it going into the radio. So we always disconnect these when they're not in use. So when you are about to begin using it, you can connect it, make sure they're nice and tight, and we're ready to start. So I'll come over here and set up and pull the microphone out. And this is the power supply for the radio. This is the radio itself, and this is the SWR meter. Now we are ready to use the radio. First thing we'll do is we will turn on the power supply. Then we can turn on the radio with this power button. The different bands can be selected here. Put the microphone down. The band numbers are in megahertz, so 21 megahertz, 18 megahertz, 14 megahertz, and then a fine-tuned frequency adjustment can be accomplished here. You can probably hear some audio. This is the volume level here. And then on the back knobs can be turned as well. They do some other functions which you can probably read the details of in the manual. But the most important ones to be concerned with are the volume, the main frequency selection, and the band selection.
Very loud. Definitely.
Also, we have different modes here. Upper sideband, lower sideband, CW. Most likely for voice we'll be using upper sideband, but different modes are selected for different bands and different regions of the band. So now that we are set up here, everything should be good to make our first contact. Keep in mind, and this is really important, I'm going to pull a couple things down from up there. The first one's the logbook, where we record all of our contacts, every single one of them. And also, this is really, really important. This is the amateur band plan. Now you can see the different color codes represent different types of modes. Red is CW, or Morse code, and green is general usage for voice. If 24.89 to 24.93 is in red, that means that these ranges of frequencies can only be used for Morse code. As a general license, you can use anything with the letter G by it. So as a general license with the letter G, I can do voice on 24.93 to 24.99, for example. Now, as technicians, you're a little bit limited to certain bands. If you see a T, it means you can use that. The T is limited to Morse code between 3.525 and 3.6, Morse code between 7.025 and 7.125, and we have a little bit of voice opportunity. The upper sideband voice segment for the technician licensee is 28.3 to 28.5. So you would select 28 here, and you could do anything between 28.3 here and all the way up to 23.5. Keep in mind that when you're doing upper sidebands, your voice extends a little bit above your center frequency, so you don't want to hug the upper edge of 28.5. You want to be at least 3 or 4 kilohertz on the inside of it. So keep that in mind when making contacts. But the band plan is really important. Every time you make a contact, we log the information in the logbook here, and we'll probably get an example going in a moment. Whiskey 4 Delta Foxtrot Uniform. This is Whiskey 4 Delta Foxtrot United. Roger, Roger. You are also 5 by 5 into Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida. And can I get your call sign again, please?
Thank you for the 5 from the state of Florida. My name is Roger. I found uniform Mike Bravo Romeo Tango Oscar, the Michael sign, India, Delta 2, Tango Sugar. I take you right here.
Roger, Roger. I copy. Italy, Zulu 2, Golf, Tango, Sugar. Roberto in Italy. Roger?
Yes, fella. 100%. Roger.
All right, very good. Well, your signal's improving. You're going up to about a 5 by 8. 5 by 8 here into North America. So thank you for the contact in 73, my friend. IZ2GTS. This is W4DFU.
Okay, thank you. Go Rockers.
73. So the things that we'll log in the logbook, I'll turn the microphone down, or turn the speaker down. The things we log in the logbook are the date, the frequency we were, 222.3. I got it close there, 222.3. Single side band, because we're using the single side band setting, upper side band. Power was 100 watts. The time we copy from this clock here, the UTC, we do all of our logging in UTC. So about 1344, I'll be 1340 to 1344. Got his call sign here. We sent a 5-3, but we took it back up to a 5 by 8, and we got, I believe it was a 5-9. I've got his name, Roberto, Italy, and then you always sign a contact with your name and then your call sign. Like that. And that completes a log entry. And you can hear the same guy shifted frequency a little bit. And just calling CQ again. Alright, now that we're done operating, it's time to shut it down. I put the microphone back away, out of the way. I put the logbook and the band chart up here so it doesn't get in the way. Turn the power off to the radio. Turn the power off to the power supply. And we're done here, but it's still really important that we unplug our antennas whenever we're gone from the station for a while. So I come over here and unplug any antennas we attached. If there's something already attached when we walked in and it has a note saying to leave it attached, it's okay to leave it where it is. But any cables we added should be removed before we leave, so if lightning strikes, we don't end up pulling up the radio. After that's done, all of our logs are made. We can sign out on the clipboard, and then we are done for the day.